What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy coming at you, and I ain't been putting up no videos or nothing lately. I ain't been really buying nothing lately, and I just want to come on back to YouTube and just say hi to the people, see how y'all doing. It's actually the first time I actually showed my face on YouTube, but it's whatever. And I ain't been really doing nothing. Been actually looking for a job and everything, so I ain't really been focusing on making no videos or nothing. You know, just been trying to focus on bettering myself, and I was gonna come back and come up with some stuff. But like I said, I ain't really been buying nothing to really review or anything like that. I got a couple of little cheap knives or something, like little Ozark Trail knives or something. But, I ain't really just want to put those up. I'm probably gonna get a switchblade or something pretty soon. So I'll be getting something uh, pretty soon, and yeah, pretty much. I'll be getting the He Got Game 13s next month. I'll be getting those, so those will be up on my channel. I ain't really been buying no shoes or nothing like that, as of lately. Not really. I keep and I don't know. Ain't been really doing nothing. Been trying to decorate my room and stuff lately, so that's pretty much where a good chunk of my money been going. Been using like Nerf guns and stuff to decorate my wall and stuff, And I didn't realize, I knew it could get expensive, but I didn't realize how quickly the parts for stuff can add up, you know, and become, higher price. You know, you pay like sometimes the blaster alone might cost you 50 bucks or 40 bucks or whatever. The barrel might cost you another extra 20, 16, $25 or something like that. The magazine can cost like $20. And it's like, wow. You know, I didn't realize just how quickly some of that mess can add up. Now, I knew, like, it can get expensive. Like, when you're trying to build, and the people that do the actual Nerf wars and stuff, I know, like, that stuff can get expensive. Because, it's a Nerf war. They actually, actually trying to put, like, extra parts and, springs and all that in there. And, all that stuff. But I ain't know just, like, buying some of the basic stuff. I ain't even got none of that worker, like, stuff going on. But still, I just never realized how quickly that can just add up, to be um, to a point where it's just like, oh, you know, you can easily, if you try and buy all the parts and stuff at once, you might easily end up spending $100 and something just trying to hook up one blaster to make it look like something. And I'm just trying to put them on the wall. I ain't going to no wars or nothing. I'm just trying to put them on the wall. And you can easily spend, nice chunk of change just trying to use them as decorations. So, it's crazy. But, so that's where my money been going. The only reason I ain't, really show none of that off is because, I didn't think that'd be something, anybody would be, interested in. You have so many Nerf channels and stuff where they actually doing wars and stuff, building all type of crap going on, so, they trying to get stuff going or whatever. I did make a custom, like a Nerf shotgun, so maybe, I don't know, if somebody want to see that, I might do a little review on it and show people what it look like, and, try to get some suggestions on the sights. Now its shoulders nice and all that. It actually does feel nice. It actually feels like a legitimate shotgun because of the way I did the stock on it and stuff. But the sighting on it is kind of bad or whatever. And yeah, so I can take some advice on that part. I'm not sure how to do a better sight. I was thinking about actually buying the 3D printed sights for them and putting them on there, just because, um, just because I thought it would look cool if it had actual functioning sights on there. You know, it'll look, like something if I could actually get functioning sights on them. You know what I'm saying? And that was just something I thought about doing. I thought about getting sights for my. I made an AR2, an AR-15. Well, don't want I don't want to hear no controversy about that or whatever. Really controversial topic when that comes up. But you know, I, that's one of my favorite uh, firearms. That's my favorite firearm now. Is cause it looks pretty cool and stuff like that. And that's one of the reasons I hate that I like knives and guns and stuff. People know that about me. I love knives and guns, but not just because they're knives and guns, because of the way that they are put together, the way that they are, you know, this has to be made this way, in a way that it connects to this piece to make this piece, react a different way. It has to react this way or that way. It's all, due to the way that things are spring together, screwed together, bolted together, and the same thing with a lot of knives, they seem so simple, but some of them have some very intricate things going on inside of them, especially when you get into like automatic knives and stuff like that. They have very intricate things going on to make them fire, to make them automatic and all that stuff. It's pretty interesting, and I think that's one of the reasons I actually do like Nerf guns and stuff like that, because it's a legal way of really playing with a gun, because you look at the internals and it teach you all type of things, and you really respect you start to respect how much work goes into them actually producing these, what are actually toys. You learn to respect what they're actually doing to create these toys. It's a lot of intricate things that go on inside of these guns. These Nerf guns, and that's a toy. It gets intricate and things like that. So it's quite good. It gets quite interesting, and we ain't going on rant about legal guns and all that stuff. But anyway, I made an AR-15, and I had that up on the wall. I want a better stock for it, a more AR looking stock for it. I don't really have an AR looking stock on it. It's just don't know what kind of stock it is. It's just a stock. But I know they do have one from, I believe it's called the Raider or Rampage. Raider or Rampage? One of them, I don't know. It's something like that. And it's a stock that comes off of it, and it actually looks like an AR stock, and that's what I'm gonna get for it, and then that's gonna be the AR. It's gonna be looking like that, and I just ordered a Strife. That's what it's called, a Strife, a modular Strife, which is the new one of them new or old, or I don't know. I don't know what's new or what's old or whatever with that. I just go by what I see on YouTube from the Nerf community I follow or whatever. See them doing their rewards. I just go by whatever I see on there. But anyway, it's a Strife right now. I'm hoping to build a AK out of the Strife, because I've seen a couple of people take a Strife and turn them into AKs, have them looking all nice and stuff like that, and I don't know, I'm debating if I should buy the whole kit. Now they have a kit. I seen the kit on eBay. I also seen the kit on Etsy, but I've never shopped on Etsy. Some people have ordered things from Etsy. I've seen on YouTube people that they order stuff off Etsy, and the stuff came as described and came on time and everything. But I've never shopped that. If you shop from Etsy, you let me know if you shop from Etsy and what was your experience shopping from Etsy. You know, what was your experience shopping from Etsy? You know, what was your experience? You know, all that. And you know, the kit itself is like $116, $130, something like that, and it's the whole kit with the barrel, the stock, the mag. Um, it actually changes the rails to like these Picatinny looking rails. I don't have one, so I don't know if they're actual Picatinny's, but they're supposed to be like a Picatinny rail kind of looking thing going on. So I don't know if that means that once you put those on, you can't use Nerf attachments on it or whatever the case is. You have to get a real Picatinny, you know, grip or scope, and that can be more costly than buying a Nerf grip. So I don't know. I may or may not still do it, and just get the scope or something for it whenever I can, you know. But uh trying to think how I was gonna say, how I was gonna word what I'm saying. Um, yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. That's where I've been. Actually, I've never reviewed this watch. This probably if you watch this, you're probably like, wow, never seen them do that watch anywhere. I've never reviewed it. That's why this is the only thing I actually ordered was this watch, and I didn't feel like really reviewing it. I really didn't feel like reviewing it. You know, I got it on Poshmark. Yeah, if you can see, it's missing stones uh, out of the bezel, which is why I got it pretty. Why I got it pretty cheap. The guy said he paid like I think 1,500, 2,500, something like that, for it. It's a lab diamond watch. It's supposed to be like a Gucci watch. It's not a real Gucci watch, which is why it was only about 2,500, because it's not a real Gucci watch. It says Swiss made on the glass, but I know better than that. I know it's not really Swiss made. If it was really a Swiss made digital watch, I didn't. To my knowledge, I didn't even know Swiss even produced digital watches. But anyway, you know, most things that are from Switzerland and stuff like that is usually pretty expensive. So if it was a real, authentic Gucci watch with lab-made diamonds on it, you would be looking at about maybe $10,000, $20,000 for it. So really, what you were charged for was just the diamonds by themselves. You wouldn't really charge for nothing else with them. You know, that's pretty much it. You know, that's why they were so cheap. You know, it's no right watch for what it is, but it's not as quality as say a actual, you know, Gucci watch would be. You know, it's expensive, but it's not as quality as a new Gucci watch. That's a whole nother topic that that I've heard several people actually say about diamonds and all that stuff. You know how that most of the price that people are paying is like my mom says when it comes to like shoes, she's always like, "Oh, you're paying for the name." Yeah, you're partly paying. You're paying for the name. Yeah, mostly, and that's most of the price when it comes to a lot of watches and stuff like that. You're paying for the name and stuff like that. You know. But anyway, you know, I like Invicta and stuff like that. Everybody know that. But I've been trying to find some other brands of watches that I um, want to get into, and I can't seem to find any. Now, the two names that I do seem to always hear thrown around in the watch community is Seiko and Citizen, and I've looked into both of these, both the Citizen, and Seiko, and neither one of them are watches that I want to see myself wearing. I've looked into them. I've looked into several models of them and stuff, and you know that's one of my things with these peers people is I don't understand again how they actually go at Invicta for having the Pro Diver and saying, yo, it looks like it's a Rolex copy, and a lot of the Seikos, a lot of the Citizens look like Rolex ripoffs and stuff as well. So it's like you can't go on one brand for having a watch that looks like a Rolex without going on all of them, like Tag Heuser, Tissot, and all of that. You can't really go on one brand for doing something that several other brands have been doing for years, you know. And it's not really even the company's fault either. It's Rolex's fault. You have a very mainstream, very basic looking watch, and you know when you step out of the Rolex looking Citizens and Seikos, you get into these old man looking watches that look like watches like an old, retired veteran would wear or something. Something like you would see like a granddaddy wearing or something. Not really watches that are just like, oh, it's a beautiful watch because it's a nice watch. No, it's a beautiful watch just because it's basic. When something is basic and has a standard look, a very basic look, it's easy for it to look good. Like Air Force Ones. Air Force Ones, I like Air Force Ones, but they're nowhere near one of my favorite shoes. They're nowhere near one of my favorite shoes. They're nice, they're nice looking, they're decent looking shoes, but nowhere near they're nowhere near being a favorite of mine. They're basic. They're a very basic shoe in design. It's a very simple shoe. So it's pretty easy for someone to say it's a nice shoe because it's very basic. It's a very basic shoe, and it's hard to really. It's harder to be worse than others, but it's also harder for it to be better, in my opinion. In my personal opinion, I think that when something is just a really basic design, it's harder for it to be worse than something, but it's also harder for me to consider it better than something. So like Air Force Ones are not a worse shoe or worse looking or nothing. They're not ugly shoes at all. But in my opinion, they are not beneath other shoes, but then again, they're not above other shoes. Even now, I know Nike and Jordan is the same company, and if you take a shoe that kind of looks similar to a Jordan 1, would be like I would say the Jordan 4s kind of look like Jordan 1s, and the Jordan 3s kind of look like Jordan 1s. I said Jordan 1s, kind of look like Air Force 1s. I'm not going to say, they don't look, to me, Jordan 4s are nice, and they're kind of in the lane of being, they're not really, Air Force Ones are not really above Jordan 1s, but they're not really below Jordan 1s. I said Jordan 1s, Jordan 4s. I'm kind of rambling, going on. You get what I'm getting at, though. They're not really above the Jordan 4s, but they're not below them either. Because they're a basic shoe, they're always going to be here. They're never going to go here or here. They're always going to be in the middle because they're so basic. There's nothing about them that makes them, go here or here. It doesn't matter what color, model. They can have the best looking model in the world, but they're still very basic. And because they're very basic, they're always going to be here. They're never going to go up here. They're never really going to go down here because they're always going to stay in the middle, which is why they're still such a popular shoe. Even now in 2018, they're still one of the most bought shoes and the most sought after shoes on the market. And that's why, because they're so basic. They're right in the middle. And the sales of something does not always mean that that's a great product. Just like I've seen people talking about Yeezys are better than Jordans because Yeezys sell out faster than Jordans now. That does not mean that it's a better shoe. That does not mean it's a better quality shoe. That does not make it better. That just means that it's such a basic thing, or it's such a mainstream thing, which Yeezys are. Yeezys are becoming the norm. They're becoming the mainstream, and that's what everyone wants because that's what they see celebrities wear. You see more celebrities now wearing Yeezys than you do Jordans. And it's because it's become so popular and mainstream that they're right here. That they're right here. And Jordans are kind of staying, it's kind of in the same lane, but everyone's going to lean more toward those Yeezys because that's becoming popular. And as you see, certain models of Jordans will sell out, and certain colorways are selling out faster than others because of that. Because that particular pair is the mainstream pair. So if you look at like models like Jordan 11s and Jordan 12s will fly off shelves because they're mainstream. And it's the same thing when it comes to stuff like watches. When it comes to stuff like Seiko and things like Citizen, Rolex, and stuff like that. It's a mainstream. It's going to always be the popular choice because it's mainstream. Because it's in the middle. It's never going to go here. It's never going to go here. It's always going to be here. So no matter what, you will always have something that's going to be considered a good purchase, a good watch, a popular watch. No matter what you buy, no matter what color you buy, you're always going to be right here. You're never going to go here. You're never going to go here. You're always going to be in the middle. And that is one of the things that makes a Rolex very popular of a choice, is because of that. It's never going to go anywhere. It's not going to go up. It's not going to go down. But don't know who that is. Don't know who that is, so I'm just going to let that ring. Don't know what that is. Anyway, ignore that. It's going to keep ringing. So, yeah. Yeah. Don't know what that is, so just going to let that do its thing. But, anyway. Rolex is never going to be one of my favorites. But anyway, besides that, is there any watches anyone seen? I've actually been looking into Nixon, and I was thinking about getting a Nixon. I kind of like the Nixon I seen the Nixon that was gold with the green face. I kind of like that look. They had a Invicta watch like that I wanted. My mom was going to get me for, was it my birthday? Usually my birthday or Christmas, she said she was going to get me one. Because she had, I didn't know it was even in existence, and she actually bought it to my attention and said, would you like to get this watch? I'll buy it for you, whatever. So I said, sure. And by the time she actually went to go get it, it had completely flew off the shelves. It was just gone. Couldn't order it online, couldn't order it at any store. It was just gone. And I'm like, wow. It was gold with the green face, and then it had a white strap on it, and it was just pretty. It was just very pretty. Then it had a rose gold one like that too, and that was also gone. If I'm not mistaken, the rose gold one also had a white strap, or did it have a black? I can't remember. I think it had a white one though, but it was rose gold with the green face on it as well. Sold out. There. Excuse me. It was just gone, man. It was just gone. And yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. You know, just wanted to do a video and let you guys know, like, you know, what's going on. Like I said, I'm looking into a new watch. So if y'all don't know any watch brands besides Seiko, besides Citizen, don't say Daniel Wellington. I looked up Daniel Wellington. I'm not really into those either. Those also look like some old man retiree watches that when you get older and you just want to watch, but you don't really want to take the time to pick out a good watch. they're very old, and I know everyone doesn't like big watches or gaudy watches. I know a lot of you would probably say a watch like this is ghetto. I can take the bezel off of this watch. To be honest with you, the bezel actually comes off. People who've probably seen these other places probably know that the bezel comes off. You know, probably know that the bezel screws off, completely screws off, and then you're left with that look, which looks a little bit better. Doesn't look as gaudy or ghetto. Uh, Looks a bit more, you know, normal, a bit more streamlined or whatever. I said streamlined. Big, well, I'll say streamlined. Bit more streamlined because it kind of looks like it'd go with a suit with that kind of look to it, and not bad. So I know a lot of people won't like stuff like that, and it's alright. So a lot of people would probably consider this to be a ghetto watch, you know, really ghetto, really gaudy, over the top watch, and you know, I know someone. I know I'm probably gonna get a comment from someone saying, you know, you were just trying to show your watch off because you kept flicking your wrist and stuff. I do that a lot. No matter if when I have a. Actually, I do sometimes do it when I don't have a watch on, but I do it more so when I have something on my wrist than when I don't. It's not even just watches. When I have bracelets on too, even if it's a rubber band bracelet or whatever, you know, rubber bracelets and stuff, anything. If I have something around my wrist, I just have a bad habit of doing this, because I especially if it's loose, I be trying to like move it down without having to touch it, or you know, move it back when I'm trying to write or something, you know, and I just have a bad habit of doing that, you know, kind of pre-adjusting it or whatever to whatever I'm finna do, whatever my next move is gonna be, so, you know, stuff like that. So whatever the case is, you know, I just have a bad habit of doing this, and I actually do tend to do it this way. I don't know why. I always do that even when no one's around. I'll do that. I don't know. It's just a bad habit. You know, sometimes you have weird bad habits, and there's really no reason for them. You know, but whatever. Uh, I'm not opposed to getting suit watches, but I don't want no old man retiree looking watches. All right. If you got a pretty decent watch, that's a pretty reasonable price. Sorry, scratching my leg. Got a mosquito bite. Mosquito bit me. So, but anyway, if you guys know any watches that are around a decent price range, don't tell me to go get a Rolex or a Patek or something that's like $15,000 or $50,000 or something. Don't try to give me one of those watches that are like $16,000 watches, and then say like, yeah, get that because it's a good watch. You know, no. If you send me the, excuse me, if you send me the money, I'll buy one. But like I said, I don't know if I ever mentioned it before. I probably did, but Cartier is my dream watch. I want a Cartier. I want a Cartier Santos. The either the regular model or the XL model. One or the other. I don't care if it's an XL or if it's the standard model. If it's a standard model, that's fine. If it's an XL, it's fine. But Cartier is one of my favorite watches, as well as Audemars. I love Audemars. Audemars are really nice watches. Period. Audemars are just really nice watches to me. They just are. I like Audemars because they're to me they're more unique than a Rolex, and people probably would say Pateks are nice. Pateks are nice too because they actually have a pretty unique kind of design, kind of shape to it. That if you saw someone wearing it, you knew that that's what it was. Cartier has a real rectangular shape. You know, there are not very many I was gonna say octagon. Well, yeah, for Audemars, yeah, there's not a lot of octagon shaped watches in the world. I know that you probably seen some lookalikes that look like, supposed to be like homage to, uh, it's supposed to be like an homage to kind of like the Audemars. Actually, Invicta got one. It's called a Kula. Kind of, to me, it kind of looks like a Patek. Kind of looks like a Patek. So yeah, but as far as actual companies actually producing watches that are octagonal, not, you only have Audemars. As far as companies that produce rectangular watches, you've only really got Cartier. You have rectangular watches, but they're far and few in between where you see a very nice rectangular shaped watch. And that's part of the reason I like Cartier. It's because it has that rectangular shape, and because the rectangular shape is just such a, as far as watches are concerned, it's a very irregular shape. You don't really often run into too many brands that produce rectangular shaped watches. Now, like, Invicta has a oval shaped watch that's pretty cool looking. It's the Lupa. My cousin actually has one. He has a is it pink and gold? Is it pink with a gold face or silver with a pink face? I can't remember, but I know it has a pink face. It's really cool. It's got a real oval kind of shape to it. You don't see too many watch companies make oval shaped watches, and if if a company was to produce a better looking oval shaped watch like that, I would instantly love the company just for that. It makes oval shaped watches. You know, I'm not into like normal watches. I like my watches a bit more unique, a bit more standoutish, if you will. You know, uh, I don't even know what shape Patek is. Patek has that weird kind of, I don't know, blocky shape where it's kind of, at the top it's kind of like squarish, but the sides are round. I guess it's a round edged square. Then the body is kind of like a hexagon kind of, I don't know, um, kind of like a boxy looking octagon. Kind of weird. Excuse me. But you've seen Patek. It's kind of got that squarish octagon mixture kind of look going on with it, you know. So yeah. But anyway, man, I done rambled on enough. Um, I'm gonna be out. Y'all be safe. If y'all want me to come back and talk to y'all again about whatever, you know, post down in the section below some stuff that y'all would like to hear my opinion on, some things that y'all would like to talk about. I could do more just, talking or whatever. And just post them down in the comments below. And, you know, let me know some things that you want to hear my opinion on or just want to hear me talk about in general. You know, I don't really hop into politics, so don't comment down. Talk about, how do you feel about Trump being president and stuff. I'm not going to talk about that on, uh, I don't really hop into politics. So anything that's not politics, post down below, and I'll give y'all my opinion on it. Even if it's basketball. I don't watch basketball all that much. I watch enough to know what's going on. Excuse me. I watch basketball enough to know what's going on. I can't recap to you every score that was made in the game, but I pay attention enough to know who won and who won the game. I can't tell you every point that person scored in the game, but I pay attention enough to know some things. So, if it's just anything that y'all want to talk to me about, let me know in the comments below. Anything y'all want my opinion on, let me know. I can definitely, find the data, post a video telling y'all my opinion on the subject that was posted. You know, y'all let me know. Comment what y'all want to hear me talk about, what y'all want to ask, anything, and I'll make a video answering it as detailed as possible. Uh, but for now, that's all. I'm out. Peace.